So it is Wednesday, July 29th, and I'm just gonna go around the apartment and kind of show off what's there and what isn't. So a couple things. Got a little paint on the door. But other than that, most things are pretty nice in the kitchen. We look here, starting at the washer dryer. Did notice that there is a little bit of a chip there. Nothing too bad there. You got the washer and dryer. All things look pretty good. There is a little bit of a chip there, as well as some chips along here. But otherwise, relatively good looking. Down at the bottom here, you got this little tin thing. It's a little bit bent, but nothing too horrible about it. Over here, we got the fridge and the freezer. One thing I noticed here is that this little cabinet's a little bit bent out of shape, but both the freezer and the fridge are working. Now for the kitchen itself, you'll notice here that there are these stains. I don't know what else to call them. You can see it closely here. I tried wiping these down, but I couldn't change it. But we got the water working. We got the hose, and we do have working garbage disposal. You can see that there is some stains there. Dishwasher looks fine. Makes a little noise, demonstrates that it's on. Looks good to me. Cabinets are all pretty decent. You'll notice, as I kind of go around, there are a little bit of stains on the tile or whatever. But everything seems to be working. Now in terms of the oven, the stovetop, you can see here, there are some kind of, I don't know what stains, but just a little dirty stuff on there. Might go away with the clean, but most importantly, the burners all work, as does the microwave. We can go underneath here and see that there is a little bit of a hole underneath the cabinets, but other than that, the cabinets all open. So that's the kitchen, and the light does work. So going into the living room, you can see here that there are some slight marks on the floor, that kind of these little dark marks. But aside from that, and some little aesthetic stuff, the lights work. The room itself seems alright. Nothing too bad. Now, over here in the hall closet here, you'll notice again that it is a little bit uneven, especially up top. But in terms of the function, opens up alright. And does its job. So let's first go into this next room. You'll notice here on the door, there is a little bit of a smudge mark. But overall, outside there may be some rust on the hinges. The door is fine, functional, and does have a working lock. In terms of the room itself, again, you got a little bit of minor black scrapes on the floor, as well as these little things, which are just painted over nails. Nothing terrible. The window itself is fine. As are the blinds. Let's get a look at the heater. Again, there's some little aesthetic stuff beneath it. You can see a little bit closer when you look at the floor that there's some scrape marks, like you see there. But overall, not too bad and functional. Here's the closet itself. It's a little bit jerky to get the closet rolling, but it does work. It's a little uneven there, but all things considered, it works all right. It's probably best if it's left somewhat more like this. And when you go inside, the light does work. So overall, everything works all right. Some little tiny details like this in the corners, but nothing super broken or anything like that. So outside of stuff like this, paint on the floor, and some of the little minor scrape marks, this room is fairly good. Now we're gonna enter the bathroom. Now we do have a working light up here. And then the sink here, you can see very similar to the kitchen itself. You have these marks that I am not sure how to get rid of. And on the mirror itself, you can see a little along the base there. You open the cabinets. That looks fine. But up here, you'll notice that there is what looks like a light that is not there. So this has potential to having to prepare for a new light installed. You'll see here there are some paint on the floor, mainly aesthetic. Here we see the base of the tub. Some smudges, a little bit of unevenness there, and again some marks there on the toilet, but the toilet works, as does the tub. You can see here the tub. Where the soap is, there is a little bit of a dent there. But probably the most important thing that I notice here is in the shower head itself, this is loose. But it does work, light works, as does the fan. So lastly, we'll go over the second bedroom. This light works in the middle hall. And again, everything seems to be decent, some aesthetic stuff, especially around the corners. Stuff like that. And that on the closet doors. You can see generally the closets work. Everything's installed all right. Now, one thing about the floors here is that in the room, there's a section of the floor that is a little bit gluey. You can see over here, it's all smooth and fine. But right here, it's sort of a glue, hard glue. Not sure how it would get removed. Not the worst thing in the world, but definitely something to take note of. That was here before. Some other minor aesthetic stuff like that. But perhaps most important in this whole room is you have this small side window above the heater that looks out to the back. But you'll notice that this crank does not work. So I'll unlock this and you'll see that it opens okay, but it stops catching, and then it won't open, it won't close. So what I had to do was take off the screen and then pull it back and lock it back up because this crank, as you can see, doesn't close the window properly. So hopefully that's an easy fix. Let's take a look at the bathroom. Before we do that, let's check the light. Works okay. As does this light. In this bathroom, light and fan works. Similar stuff with all the other rooms. A little bit of dirt and grime to clean. Some paint on the floor. A little bit of chips here. But this one's nice and tight and works. This window works all right. However, this thing is a little bit wiggly. And similar to the other countertops, you got a little bit of paint there, some of these stains along the countertop, and then the mirrors themselves